You open your eyes for the first time, and congratulations, you're a princess. Don't get excited. Your kingdom is gone. Your family is dead. Your throne sits beneath someone else's shadow. You are Daenerys Targaryen, last daughter of a dynasty that burned itself to ash. And you own nothing, not even yourself. Your brother Viserys reminds you of this constantly. He is your king, your protector, your tormentor. He feeds you when he remembers, hits you when he's frustrated, sells your mother's crown when the money runs out. You move from city to city across Essos, two beggars playing at royalty, eating the scraps of merchants who grow tired of your presence. You're hungry, you're afraid, you're 8, then 10, then 12. Lucky you.
At 13, Viserys finds a buyer, called Drogo, 40,000 Dothraki screamers, the greatest Khalasar the Grass Sea has ever witnessed. Your brother wants that army. He wants his throne back. And the price? You're not consulted. You're not asked. You're informed. I would let his whole Khalasar take you, Viserys whispers, smiling. All 40,000 men, and their horses too. That's what it would take. He means it. You can see it in his eyes, those pale lilac mirrors that reflect nothing but crowns and corpses. To him, you are not a sister. You are currency wrapped in silver hair. The wedding is beautiful. You cry through all of it. That night, Khal Drogo takes you to his tent. You are 13 years old.
He doesn't speak your language. You don't speak his. Communication is unnecessary for what happens next. You learn something that first night, bleeding under foreign stars. Power belongs to those who take it. And you have none. Not yet. You are a frightened girl surrounded by men who see you as a womb, a bargaining chip, a thing. Your handmaidens teach you how to please the call, how to ride, how to survive. You learn quickly because the alternative is death. Slowly, impossibly, something shifts. Drogo begins to look at you differently. You begin to stand differently. You learn his language, his customs, his heart. But here's the cruel joke. Just as you start to find power, the world prepares to snatch everything away.
Your story doesn't begin with fire. It begins with silence.
You finally have something worth keeping. A husband who loves you, a child growing in your belly, a Khalasar that calls you Khaleesi. So naturally, the universe takes all of it. Drogo cuts himself in battle. A scratch, nothing. You watch it fester anyway. You watch the strongest man in the world rot from the inside out, his flesh turning green, his eyes turning glass. Desperate, you turn to blood magic. A witch promises salvation. She delivers slaughter. Your son is born dead, monstrous, wings in scales where arms should be.
The price of dark magic, the witch explains. Smiling with a mouth you should have sewn shut. Drogo breathes, but doesn't live. A vegetable with a heartbeat. You smother him with a pillow and call it mercy. Your Khalasar abandons you. 40,000 screamers dissolve into the grass, leaving you with a handful of elderly, sick, and starving. The red waste stretches ahead, an ocean of nothing. No water, no food, no hope. You should die here. Most of your people do. Instead, you build a funeral pyre. You place Drogo's body atop it. You add 3 fossilized dragon eggs. Pretty stones, everyone assumed.
Wedding gifts meant for decoration. Everyone assumed wrong. You walk into the flames. The fire should consume you. It consumes everything else. Wood, flesh, bone, certainty. The witch screams as she burns. The smoke carries her shrieks into indifferent stars. You do not scream. You do not burn. When dawn breaks, you emerge from the ashes, naked and reborn. 3 dragons suckle at your breast, creatures of legend, impossibilities made flesh. Congratulations, you're a myth now. But myths still starve. Your dragons are the size of cats.
Your army is a handful of cripples. You have no ships, no gold, no allies. Assassins hunt you across continents because a fat king in Westeros fears what you might become. The world hears your titles and trembles. Daenerys Stormborn, the Unburnt, Mother of Dragons. Impressive syllables for a refugee. The truth is simpler. You're a 15-year-old girl with weapons you can't control, a throne you may never reach, and people depending on you to perform miracles daily. Fire made you something new. Now you need to figure out what.
You arrive at Astapor with nothing but dragons and audacity. The good masters laugh at you, a little girl playing conqueror. They own the Unsullied, 8,000 slave soldiers, castrated as boys, tortured into obedience, programmed to feel nothing. The finest killing machines gold can buy. You offer a dragon in exchange. You're most valuable. The masters think you're stupid, a desperate child surrendering her only real weapon. They think wrong. The moment the transaction completes, you speak a word in Valyrian. Dracarys. Dragonfire turns the good masters into screaming torches. The Unsullied turn their spears on their former owners. By sunset, Astapor belongs to you. You break every chain in the city. You tell the slaves they're free. You tell the Unsullied they can leave. They choose to follow you anyway. Congratulations. You're a liberator now. Yunkai bends the knee when it sees what you did to Astapor. Meereen takes longer. The masters there nail slave children to mileposts. 163 tiny corpses pointing the way to their city. Each one a message. Turn back. You don't turn back. You conquer. You win. And then you crucify 163 masters in return. Justice, you call it. An eye for an eye. A child for a slaver. It feels righteous. For about a week.
Some of those masters opposed the crucifixions. Some argued against it. Some were fathers and sons who inherited wealth, not cruelty.
You killed them anyway. No trial, no evidence, just rage dressed as righteousness. Are you a liberator or a butcher with better intentions? The question haunts your nights. Meanwhile, freedom proves messier than chains. Astapor collapses into chaos behind you. The economy of slavers' pay crumbles. Freedmen who knew nothing but servitude now starve in gutters, owning nothing, knowing nothing. You actually beg to let them sell themselves back into slavery. Their old masters fed them, sheltered them, gave them purpose. Your liberation gave them death with extra steps.
You wanted to break the wheel. Instead, you're discovering the wheel was the only thing holding everything together. Welcome to ruling, little queen. It only gets worse from here.
You sit the throne of Meereen, a pyramid of stolen stone, a crown of borrowed legitimacy. You should feel powerful. Instead, you feel hunted. The sons of the Harpy strike at night. Golden masks, silent knives. They murder your soldiers in alleyways, your freedmen in their beds. You wake each morning to body counts. You go to sleep each night knowing tomorrow will bring more. You can't fight shadows. You try everything. Curfews, patrols, hostages from noble families. Nothing works. The masks multiply. The bodies stack. Meanwhile, the slavers regroup. Yunkai rebuilds its chains. Volantis sends envoys dripping honeyed threats. Karth blockades your ports.
You conquered 3 cities and somehow made enemies of an entire continent. Brilliant strategy, really. Then comes the plague. The pale mare rides into your refugee camps. Bloody flux, they call it. People die shitting themselves inside out. You send healers, you send food. You walk among the sick yourself, holding hands that will be cold by morning. It changes nothing. They die anyway. Hundreds, thousands. Your compassion makes lovely poetry. Corpses make better arithmetic. Your dragons grow restless, wild. Drogon vanishes into the hills. Viserion and Rhaegal snap at their handlers. Then the impossible happens. A farmer kneels before your throne, carrying charred bones wrapped in cloth. His daughter, 3 years old, burned alive by Drogon. You chain your children in darkness beneath the pyramid. Their screams echo through stone for weeks. Without dragons, you're just a girl with opinions. So you make compromises. Ugly ones. You reopen the fighting pits. Slavery with applause. You marry Hisdar's Olorak, a man you don't love, from a family you don't trust. You smile at men who want you dead. You negotiate with slavers you should have burned. Peace, they call it. It tastes like surrender. Every choice costs something. Every decision breeds 3 new disasters. You wanted to be a good queen, a just ruler, a breaker of chains.
Instead, you're a teenager drowning in politics, surrounded by advisors with hidden agendas, ruling a city that hates you, loving dragons you can't control. You smile. You've learned to smile.
There's a prophecy older than your bloodline. Azor Ahai, the prince who was promised. A hero destined to defeat the darkness when it rises again. The priests say he was born amid smoke and salt, that he forged a burning sword through sacrifice, that he drove the blade through his wife's heart to set it aflame. You were born on Dragonstone, smoke from its volcano, salt from the sea that raged around your mother's deathbed. You sacrificed your husband, your unborn son, a witch who deserved worse. From that pyre you pulled 3 dragons, fire-rayed flesh, a sword that flies. Coincidence? Maybe. The visions say otherwise.
In Karth, you entered the House of the Undying. The warlocks showed you fragments of the future. A blue flower growing from a wall of ice. A cloth dragon swaying on poles above a cheering crowd. A great stone beast breathing shadow fire. You don't understand all of it. You understand enough. Your destiny stretches beyond Meereen, beyond Westeros, beyond thrones and crowns and petty games of politics. Something cold is waking in the north. Something ancient. Something that makes slavers and usurpers look like children fighting over toys. The dead are rising. Winter is coming. And prophecy has chosen you. Lucky you. Here's what the songs won't mention. Azor Ahai didn't want to kill his wife. He loved Nyssa.
He drove the sword through her heart anyway. Because prophecy doesn't negotiate. It demands. If you are the chosen one, what will be demanded of you? What else must you sacrifice? Your dragons? Your advisors? The remaining scraps of your innocence? You dream of a kingdom where lords are fat and happy, where small folk are free and fed, where children grow old and die in their beds, surrounded by grandchildren. Beautiful dreams. Fragile things. Prophecy doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your happiness, your trauma, your desperate hunger for a home. It only cares about what you're willing to burn. You've already burned so much. You suspect you'll burn everything before the end. You open your eyes each morning, and you keep going.
Because that's what dragons do. They burn until there's nothing left.